Well, now we have audio on YouTube. That's goofy. What? There's nothing on TikTok. Just kidding. Luke, what'd you do? Or is my mic off? That could be. Yeah. There we go. My bad. Okay. Now we got some audio. Okay. If you're here, say hello. Because I don't know if this is actually working. Let's click that button. Let's click that button. And we'll see. Volume is on, but sounds funky. It is working. Is it? What? What?
Sounds like a chipmunk.
Sounds like a chipmunk.
Oh, this like
That's not great. Seriously. Luke, what did you do? Oh, hang on. Clear. How about now? Is it better now? I think my son turned on an audio effect that I didn't know about. He likes to go up here and push a lot of buttons. And mostly it's okay. Because, you know, we got fun sounds like this. But he'll push all the buttons and all the sliders. And the next thing you know, we'll sound like a chipmunk. Taco Bell, yes. Or that. Alright, let's put some soap in here. So we put 1 ounce, 2, 3. Perfect. So I see lots of YouTubes coming in. All the TikToks are coming in. YouTubes are not. Hang on. Let me see what's going on with this. It is signed in. Select live source. Maybe I have to do that. Why isn't it letting me selecting it? Activate selected. Okay, now it might work. Sorry, YouTube. We're trying a different software, one that's supposed to make life easier, but it apparently is making life a little bit more difficult already. Which is the way software always works. It's already live, that's why I wasn't letting you click it. Yeah, but it wasn't selected. But now it is. Now it's working. That's cool. And I have the most robotic voice, and the text is... I gotta figure out how to change that, but hey, it's working. Where can I get the solution you use for the tint keg? That's a great question. This is Tint Slip, and you can find it at 313tint.com. And right now we have a 5% sale on all Tint and Tools if you use the code 313tint. It's not a bug, it's a feature. True. Which better? A plotter or manual cutting? So, both have their pros and cons. With a plotter, sometimes you don't get a great cut. With hand cutting, you get more of a tailored fit, but sometimes plotters are going to be faster. If I'm just doing a set of doors by myself, plotter's not really going to save me much time. I got to load the film in, find the vehicle, click, cut, weed it. But if I'm doing this whole truck, it's definitely going to kick my butt on that slider back there. Slider's just faster for certain situations. Best stuff I think to use, honestly, is the yellow mild baby soap. It doesn't have sulfites, dyes, or paraffin. Well, Tint Slip is also a really awesome product because it doesn't have that kind of stuff either. And it's better for like GeoShield films. All right, so what do we need? We need C2 ceramic in a 20%. Short roll would be ideal. And look at that. We have a short roll in the shade that I needed. And we also need 35. That is going to be, is that going to be this roll? Yes. No, sorry. We're not doing 35. We're doing 50. That's going to be this roll back here. Perfect. All right, we're good to go. Let us tint. What's the best way to remove old peeled tint? Steamer, heat gun, soapy water, razor blades, all those things. Razor blades, we got those. Towel, I got that. Start with wiping this off. I learned how to tint windows in the early 90s with my dad. He used to have a business called Car Toys. Nice. I used to tint for a place called Cartoons. Where can I get good tools and tint in Canada? We ship tools to Canada. All right, so one piece. How do I get clients? I'm just starting out. A lot more hustling, trying to get your name out any which way you can, friends and family. Google My Business is a good one, and paid ads. How long did it take you to get Detroit tint business doing well? It's always up and down. It started out fairly strong, but we've gone through our fair share of slow seasons. So we're gonna line these patterns up together here at the bottom. I'm gonna tack these together because we're gonna cut out two patterns at the same time. Trim off our excess here. Just set that up there. We're gonna make one cut. Let's move this out of the way. We're gonna make a cut, go straight up here. Are you streaming off your glasses? I wish. That would be fun. No, we got just a phone on a neck mount. They don't really have actual streaming glasses that last very long. The Meta ones last for like 30 minutes or something. Really short battery life, and it's just for Instagram. The technology just isn't there yet. One day it will. So we're gonna pull this down, little overlap at the bottom. We're gonna look on the inside to see how far down this comes. We can actually come down a little bit farther. That's like 1/2 inch of offset there from the outside to the inside. So You can go down a bit farther. Right about there. Seems good to me. Tack this in place. So you don't want it sliding. We're gonna roll this down. Ye old double cut. Where are you located? I'm in Flint trying to get a 1992 Wrangler. Wrangler, I'm guessing. We're in Sterling Heights.
What if I told you?
Where's the volume on this thing? There we go. I'm starting a tint business. Do you train? Yes, we do. We do have classes. Hey, it's me. We're gonna turn that down. Okay, let's trim this out. So we're gonna take our knife, the plastic one. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 or 5, either one's fine. Gives you a little bit of blade to stick out over the top edge so the blade holder doesn't just slip off. I feel a little short here. I'm gonna use this on this one. You guys will get a better view too. Let me center myself more. We're gonna poke in our knife. Let that kind of go in at an angle. Find that top edge and use the blade holder to press the tint towards the top edge and use the knife to cut. And just try and keep a consistent angle throughout your cut. Looks pretty to me. Yes. Here, let's go back in the other direction. Nice. That looks good. So let's take this and trim out our corners. A 92 Wrangler windshield. I'd have to look at it. As long as it's got a border, 92 Wrangler shouldn't be bad. If it doesn't have one of those black borders, if it's just got like the gaskets, then I don't really want to touch that one. Does this type of vehicle have the window seal that you can remove? I'm sure it does. Do you do red tint? If you find a red tint, I'll install it. You know what's kind of annoying? Is we don't have all those kinds of choices. At least not good ones anyways. Why do I feel like that looks weird? Oh, because it is. It curves way more than I thought. That's good. Because that's normal. This right here. Let's see how this lines up. So that lines up good. And then we're just gonna round our corner a little bit more there. A little bit more. Let's look at it again. Have you ever tinted the roof of a new Silverado? I have not. I don't get very many roofs. That little bit. That little bit there. So this wants to come up like that. Do you prefer hand cut or machine cut? I prefer hand cutting just to get an overall nicer fit and consistency. Plotters are still great. It's not that they have a bad edge all the time. It's just sometimes they do, and that really annoys me. So, if I'm trying to get a bunch of vehicles done in a day, then it makes sense just to plotter cut them. That's generally good enough for most people. And some are, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They're getting better. Have you heard of the glass cracking on Model S, the windshield's cracking after tinting? No. No, anything that used to happen to Teslas is all old news now. The back windows on the Model 3 used to crack. They were just doing some stuff with glass that it's just big windows. And they had growing pains with putting big glass on new vehicles. So they're a lot better now. We've got a Facebook group of like 100,000 plus people. There's no current things that happens to them. Is there any cars that you turn down? Yeah, generally old stuff. But I don't get asked about it. On Saturday, I just did a 92... Wow, what's it called? I'd have to... Hang on. I'll look it up. I took pictures of it. I have a 92 something. And it took me from noon till like 4:30. A lot of in and out. Would have liked to stream it, but it's just too much to stream. I need to focus on a car like that. I gotta look it up. I can't remember what the name is. Do you shrink the door windows? Yes, absolutely. We shrink damn near everything. I personally turn down Teslas. I feel like if you personally turn them down, you can make like a political statement about it. You might be able to get some extra business. Hey, dude.
Hi.
Besides the defroster flaking off. Yeah, Teslas, the older ones, definitely have defroster issues, and it'd be a gamble with the newer ones. I think they're better, but... What plastic is that? That's our door panel guard. So shrinking, yes. That's exactly what we're doing right now. There we go. That's nice. Let's go to the other side. There we go. Both shrunk, ready to go. What was the car you did Saturday? Let me find it. We'll play a little game of who can recognize this car first. This is the one that I did on Saturday. See that? I'm trying to remember what that's called. But it's a 90-something. Windshield was pretty straightforward, not a ton of space. Front doors were a little weird because it had like a dot matrix trad. A Honda Prelude. There we go. That didn't take long. Ding, 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 ding. So, I don't really like doing that kind of stuff. Just because it always takes longer than you think. And at the end, I'm like, that was a lot of time. I'm happy with the result. I'm glad I got it done for him. He's very happy with it. The only thing is like, the time that it takes you to do that, I can do like 2 other cars. So it's always one of those, like, when I get asked about old cars, it's a volume thing. I just never get that many of them. And so then the ones I do take me a while. And especially now, like 90s cars, they're over 25 years old, which is insane. So then if, something breaks, you have to disassemble something. Like 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now it's even harder to find any parts for them if something goes bad. Imagine an RX-8. Yeah, no thank you. Okay, I gotta make sure. So if I take my door panels off for you, on what kind of vehicle? A 2001 Yukon? Oh, 2001 Yukon's not bad. Big glass. Normal pricing on that. 2001 Yukon is more in line with like an SUV nowadays, thankfully. And stuff from like the early 2000s, you're gonna run into more types of vehicles that'll just take you a surprising amount of time, but there still are a lot of normal ones. It's still probably going to take longer because it's like a 2001, so it's probably just like might be extra dirty and there might be some stuff in the way, but nothing crazy. I have to replace the passenger glass. It's scratched up. Yeah, and like the passenger glass is scratched up, right? Like you just run into more stuff like that, but... Super chat. Ooh, I like this new software already. Because it actually shows me that kind of stuff. Yay. Thank you. I haven't seen a live from you in a long time. DC Customs. Oh my God. I recognize that name. DC Customs with the 10, thank you. I haven't seen you in a long while. I used to see every single live before I did. I went full-time with my business a year ago. All thanks to you. Thanks for everything. Hell yeah. Dude, that's so cool. Congrats, man. And thank you so much for the super chat. It has been a while. I do remember that name. I've had a hell of a time with software lately. So I'm using one for the chat, and I came across one a couple days ago that is supposed to be a little easier to set up. Looks like it has some quirks. I wouldn't exactly call it easier, but it's made for aggregating chat, and it works really well so far. I just got to get used to the starting stream quirks because I don't understand that yet. Any tips for cleaning water stains? I would just look up a water stain remover. There's like a lot of glass scrubbing compounds for that. What is the normal price for 2 front windows? It depends. We're either 120 or 150 starting, depending on if we're like running a sale or just doing standard pricing. It's $50 here for ceramic. There's places that'll do it less than that here too. So, yeah, it just depends. Depends on where you are. Depends on the types of clients that you get. A lot of little things. There's $50 guys everywhere. If you can discount the price, people will do it. Where's the water going? It's going in the door. That's where it always goes. This shit. Okay. I gotta do something. I even flushed out my tank. This was happening to me on Saturday. And it looks like it's not over. I'm not exactly sure where it's happening. But this is the first time I've had it this consistently. So there's like soap scuzzy residue. You see that? You see all that? That's like soap scuzz residue. So I gotta fix that. It's either built up in the hose, which I'd be a little surprised of, or it's built up in like the straw or something in the keg, because they just scrubbed out the keg. And the straws haven't been scrubbed out that long ago either. But there's something in there that is doing that, and I can't have that. So that's not good. I guess we're gonna use a spray bottle, and then I will fix that later, but in the meantime, we gotta redo this window. Yeah. Yeah, there's like an inside filter, but it's not, it'll only catch so much. If there's that much, like literally, like that's a lot. That's a lot. So I either gotta run new lines, because it could be the lines. The lines are over a year old at this point. I haven't seen soap build up in these lines before, but I mean, they're a year old, so who knows? I'll check them. But I gotta take stuff apart and spend some time with it. And I've got other sprayer options. So we're gonna use a trigger sprayer. But yeah, all this. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna peel this and you see how bad this is. Ew, look at that. Oh, that's so much. That's so gross. Yeah, that's soap scum. But it cleans off easy. It's just like the soap starts to collect and turn into gunk. So we're gonna get this cut out. We'll start using the other one now. And for all I know, it could have just ran through already. But it's blowing some chunks, and we don't like that. So let's cut out a new piece. Let's take this bottle. We've never seen that. So you should always clean out your kegs regularly. And I do. I want to say it's been like a week or two before I've like cleaned the straws out. I generally don't do them that often. So there's either a lot of soap built up in those straws or there's something built up in the hose. And it's going to take me just too much time right now to do that. So we're going to use a spray bottle, which is totally fine. So with the spray bottle, we're going to take half an ounce. We're probably going to pour only a quarter of this. Yeah. A little bit more. There we go. We'll say that's enough. It's definitely not prep. It is soap scum. I use Dawn. You're actually not going to have that kind of buildup with Dawn. But Dawn's a degreaser. So, like, you don't necessarily want to use degreasers for other reasons. But yeah, I had that happen on Saturday with one of the doors I was doing. But it can happen and then just like completely disappear. So I thought it was just something that like blew through. But whatever. It sat over the weekend and it's not happy. I changed out my water, but whatever was in the line was not happy. So it was a good looking pattern though. Let's do that. Let's roll this down. What was the first car that you ever tinted? By myself, it was an old... Hang on, let's wait for this to turn on. There we go. It was an old rounded Taurus. Took me like 6.5 hours. That was after I trained with somebody. And it did not turn out great. I used to get those all the time. Rounded Tauruses. Now you don't see them anymore. There aren't a lot of people that do tint in the UP. Yeah, there's not as many people that live there either. It's a catch-22. I tinted a Mustang. There was a seal above the dotted matrix. Yes, there is. Do you take deposits? Yes, absolutely. They just help confirm appointments. There's enough people that'll call around and take appointment spots and then just not show up. So like your calendar will look great, but you won't actually have anything really scheduled. Like, it's really easy for somebody to keep saying yes and then not commit to anything. But then when you're like, hey, I need money from you, they're like, hang on, let me call my wife. Why don't people want anybody looking in their car anymore? I think people never wanted people looking in their car. This generation just doesn't want people looking in their cars anymore. Do you ever have cars you can't tint? What? Me? Not being able to tint something? What? I can tint anything. Except don't ask me about old stuff. Or boats. I had a boat kick my butt. I did one on stream, kicked my butt, but I still got it done. And then a client saw that video and then brought me his boat. And I spent like a day and a half on it and gave it back to him with no tint on it. Sad face. I remember the boat stream. Yeah, the successful one. I didn't stream the other one. Okay, so we're not going to touch that. So we got to just scrub this window down. I'm interested in getting my boat tinted. You interested? Haha, no. Is there a big difference between the affordable handle that you sell and the Fusion Shorty? The price. The price is a big one. The mouth on the handle, they're both going to hold squeegee blades all right. The mouth on the Fusion one has a bigger bite. That's the only difference. They'll still all hold the squeegees the same. Hybrid's a little loose, but they'll still hold them all pretty well. What type of soap you use? Tint slip. You must get a lot of drug money. Maybe. I don't know. I just collect money. I don't know if it's drug money. A money cleaning business. One car at a time. Yes. We'll move a whole like $1,000 through here in a day. Oh boy. What a money washing business. All right, let's try this again. I mean, the first time, right? People have short attention spans. They don't know I'm redoing this window. Did we say that out loud? Nice, nice, nice. Looks good. We will find out how good once we get it squeegeed, though. Have you ever done mobile? Yes. I spent 5 years doing mobile. I got my start working at a shop. My dad owned that shop, though. Small chain, and then turned into one store. Reverse growth. And then I got frustrated with that business and then went to work mobile with a company for a while. Made good money doing it. But mobile's got its own frustrations. I never liked going to people's houses. It's such a waste of time. Not for everybody, but for me it was. There were so many places that just like, you've got a light bulb in the ceiling, one light bulb, and no space around the car. And I'm not tinting a car outside, so the best way to do mobile is to find car companies, or like, not car companies, shops that work on cars. But not really like body shops, more like glass and auto accessories and those types of businesses. They can't generally hold on to a reliable tinter because they usually don't bring in enough work to keep somebody like busy. So you like go there like 1 or 2 days a week and tell them to funnel all their business to those 1 or 2 days a week. You come in, you do them, you collect a big percentage of the job, and then you leave. The best way to do mobile is to not do it at all. I agree. But I like doing that for mobile. But you always have those, like our schedule, there were times it was crazy. So I would drive 45 minutes for like 2 front doors. So it just depended on the day. Like there'd be like one shop over here, run there, do an appointment, then I have to go here, go do an appointment, then I have to go back here, and then I go here, right? Like that got tiring really quick. But there were certain times a year that you couldn't rely on one shop to book even half a day. So there's certain times a year you just dealt with it, and other times a year where you're just like, okay, look, we can't be running around like this. It's not first come, first serve. It's you have Monday, you have Tuesday, you have Wednesday. Book up that day, and if you don't book it up, then we're not going to be tinting here anymore. And that worked out much better. But the worst was going to a place like that, and then you'd be there at like 9 in the morning, and your appointment wouldn't show up, and then you'd have a 4 o'clock appointment, and so you'd be sitting there like all freaking day waiting for somebody else to, you just drove like half hour into work, and there's no appointments, so you're like hoping somebody shows up, and nobody does. And then you have one appointment in the afternoon. Oh, look, they didn't show up either. You just waited there literally all day for nothing. What a waste. Much, much better. This looks good now. We don't have all that soap scum that we had before. Yeah. Do you let customers wait? Yeah, of course. We have a waiting room. Can't send everybody away. But do they watch you work? From like the window or from the live stream. I've had a few people hang out back here. It's okay, but it's also a shop, so just in general, if you have lots of things going on, you shouldn't, just for like liability reasons, have customers hanging around in exactly where you work. It's more for that than anything. But if If you have a customer that literally just hovers because they don't trust you, that's a that's a rough situation. That's not fun for anybody. It just makes your work awkward. What are you using for your stream? An iPhone. Dong dong. Ding dong. I'm a mobile tinner. I had a guy hovering over my shoulder. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's got to be so common with that. Like, I want my space. But there's the other things that, so, like one of the shops that I tinted at a long time ago, I remember my dad literally pulled up a chair for a customer so he could watch us. And I'm like, why? Liability? Like, for real? But okay. And we didn't have door covers or anything, too. So that was another thing. I was always conscious about that. It's like people just don't want to see water running down their door panels, but that's how it goes there. Now we have solutions for that kind of stuff. Didn't used to be that way. What do you think about 5 all the way around? It's cool. It's dark. I put it on a car that I owned for like 10 minutes. But I install 5 all the time for people. Hey, dude. Dang, dang. Dang, dang. Yeah, there's a lot of ding dings. Until we're done with this one. Those bottles break on me all the time. Yeah, I don't use them much. It's just have them around. But I'm glad I did today because my sprayer had a bunch of stuff built up in it. So I gotta clean that out better and just check it. I got a bunch of hose. I can always swap out the lines. So we'll get it. We'll get it fixed. Will there be 1 grain of contaminants in that window? 1 grain. Just 1 grain. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that you find that you don't like. That's why you don't necessarily go hunting for stuff. But whatever you find should be really minimal. Most people don't. Most people aren't like that, where they're like sticking their nose on the glass. There's so many other imperfections with everything, especially your car. The paint is not perfect. The panel gaps are not perfect. Nothing on your vehicle is 100% perfect. So window tint is an aftermarket process. We can make it look very, very good. you're generally always going to be able to find something. But when I walk up to your car, there's nothing that should stand out as like a big problem. So if you see like a big speck, I would say that's a problem. If you see one little teeny tiny speck, that'll probably drive you crazy. So don't go hunting for them. If you find something that you don't like in your windows, we redo them. But we also have that disclaimer. Like, it's not perfect, but we try our damnedest. What do you call the plastic cover? Panel guard. Dong dong. Tuck, tuck, tuck this. Gotta let this air escape. Nice. Hello, son. Oh, that's goofy. Hi, Detroit Tint Studio. How can I help you? Oh, can you switch it over to the... All right. I don't know how my headset connected to that one, but it... Apple ecosystem is so strong that even if you say don't connect to this device, if you're on the same account, it's going to be like, we're going to connect it. Matt with a Zep. It's a special day. Is he messing with my audio? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I gotta see what he broke. You hear crickets? Oh. There we go. See, what kid wouldn't want to play with that thing? It's incredibly fun. Hey, no, you can't. Can't play with that right now, thank you. Or the people on the internets won't be able to hear me. That's Mr. Terror. He is here to destroy the stream. Let's check this window over. Oh, so much nicer. So much nicer than that first attempt on the other window. Looks good. What's up, Uncle Matt? I'm a tinter out of New Mexico and just want to say what's up. Thank you. What's up, dude? Thanks for hanging out. Uncle Matt. How did I get that nickname? All right, let's put it back on here. We'll leave this open. Then hopefully it'll stay connected. Why is my solution staining the panels? Ooh, good question. So it's not really staining. It is leaving streaks, but they're super easy to fix. When you have soapy water drip down door panels and dry, it'll leave soap residue. So literally all you have to do, take a towel. You can spray glass cleaner or even the same slip solution that you used and wipe it evenly over the panel and then just dry off the panel. It'll naturally dry, but it'll go faster if you take a heat gun, and those white marks in the panel will just disappear. I'm watching. Been watching for 2 to 3 minutes. Nice. I know who you are. How do you price your jobs? We called around and kind of got a range and then decided if we wanted to stick to like an average or a high side of that market. But one of the best ways to kind of find out is literally that. Find out what other people are charging. You kind of have to just get a gauge on your own market. Okay, scrub pad. We need a scrub pad. We need a squeegee blade. We need a towel. I use static clean for my customers, but I'm having trouble tucking it. Are you for real? That can't be real. Ugh, that's dry. Where's my spray bottle? No, I need my keg. What's the VLT in your tint? It depends on the shade. So we're going to be doing 50 on the windshield. So 50. LOL, is it a bad idea? No, it's great. Static cling. Why not? It's not my car. It's not my customers. Do all your tints go on the inside? Eventually. They find their way home. What's the blue thing you're scrubbing on the windshield? It's a scratch-free scrub pad. This is the 4th time I have asked you a question. My headset disconnected for probably the entire time that you were asking questions. But it's connected now. You don't have to take it personally. Don't take it personally. There's stuff going on. Do you have applied photochromatic PPF on the headlight? No. That sounds cool though, actually. Then at nighttime, it would be clear. And during the daytime, it would be dark. I like that. It's nice. It's probably one of the best use cases I've ever heard for it. Would a magic eraser work? Yes. But magic erasers they're like little foam blocks with like bleach and stuff. Would you use a magic eraser on a credit up kitchen or a credit up dish in the sink, I guess? Because if yes, then yes. I tend to use scrub pads or razor blades. We gotta find a roll. Where's my roll of... Oh, here's a bunch. Yay. That was convenient. We got a stack. Do you cut slightly above or below the dots? Always on the outside. Because you're trying to create a small border. In India, we don't have photochromatic PPF. That is why I've asked whether it is available there or not. I don't install it or no. It's probably like a Chinese thing. Because I've ordered photochromic tint from China. It's cool stuff. Very different. But they don't make that here. What are your thoughts on using dryer sheets rather than your scrub pads? So those are two completely different things. I use both. So a scrub pad is for cleaning, and a dryer sheet is for shrinking. So first, the glass is dirty, and we need to clean the glass so we can apply glass aid around it, and also then the dryer sheet. Which is what I'm doing now. I'm putting the glass aid right on the outside of the dots. Do you cut on the white tape in the middle and after shrinking? Yes, that's exactly what I do. There's a lot of different techniques and people doing different things. So you're gonna see dryer sheets and scrub pads and lots of other things. But try and always pay attention to what they're using them for. It's pretty straightforward. I'm not talking at anybody in particular, but these things are pretty straightforward in steps and processes and everything. First, we pull the car in, we look at the glass, we need to clean the glass. So we use a scrub pad or whatever you want to use to clean it. Then, I gotta spray that a little bit. Then we can apply glass aid if we want to, optionally. Glass aid is what I'm going to cut on rather than cutting on the glass. Some people will cut on the glass. It's up to them. But we need something on the windshield to help with shrinking. And so there's nothing fancy about this. We're literally rubbing a wax residue. And you'll see when we shrink how it's going to help. But then we peel it, or we trim it, peel it, stick it, call it a day. As long as it turned out nice. That is a step. Those are not step bars. We're getting some steps in today. Which company tints do you generally use, 3M or Guari? I use GeoShield. Do you have any good, less expensive ceramic films that I could use if I wanted to tint my car myself? Less expensive than what? You can, rather than just buying a cheaper roll of film, I would suggest buying a 50 or 25 foot roll of Geo Apex or a 50 foot roll of C2 ceramic. That way you're getting a better film and you're not sitting on an extra roll of film if you're just doing it for your own car. You might need that whole roll though. So now we need to let this dry. Anybody that came to the classes knows that I said to do this and then do the doors. I ignored my own advice, so now I'm waiting for this to dry before I can throw some film on it. Have you ever heard of Ceramic Pro? Yes, definitely heard of them. How does it compare? So I haven't seen it in person, so I can't say one for one. I've seen pictures and heard it's generally a lot more blue, but they have a very good brand, and you would probably get really good overall performance out of them. All right, now what are we doing? So we're waiting for that. So while we're waiting for that to finish drying, I can clean the inside of the windshield. Always be doing something else. I didn't hear you. What was your answer, 3M or Guari? I use GeoShield. I don't use either of those. Guari's a manufacturer. Some of GeoShield's films come from Guari, so if anything that, but we're currently not using anything from Guari. Lumar IRX Nano Ceramic 5%, 20 by 10, 40 plus tax. Yep, it might be. It might not be. Lumar, 3M. Those are they're so easy to just rip off. So take a 40 by 10 and multiply that out. 40 by 10 times 100, or no, times 10 again, because that would give you a 100-foot roll. That would be $400. After eBay fees, do you think there'd be any margin to make any profit on that? I can almost guarantee you that roll costs over $400 if it's actually real. It's probably not. Is it 20 inch by 10? Oh, it's a 20 inch roll though. Sorry, I missed that. I thought it might be a 36. 20 inch isn't going to be tall enough. How did you get into it? My dad owned a auto accessories company. So I just kind of like became a window tinter. Was not something that I like actively seeked out. It was just circumstances. But that's the thing with eBay. Like, Lumar only sells through Lumar. They have no private dealers or distributors. So maybe a shop is actually selling it, but I can tell you, it's be real easy to just roll up a cheap piece of film, call it Lumar, ship it to somebody who bought it thinking it's Lumar, and then who has no way of actually verifying if it is or not. It's so easy. Like, same thing with getting your car tinted. If you were in India, I would definitely get it done by you. I appreciate that. What would we be tinting? Have you ever tried ProTech? Who's ProTech? Is it safe to cut directly on a Tesla if I don't have a glass board? I heard they have soft glass. I don't think it's safe to cut on any glass, really. Always be careful. You can mark the edges with a Sharpie, use scissors. You could put a bread clip underneath the film and trim around that. Like, there's no real reason to have to cut on the glass. But yeah, I saw a lot of people scratching up Teslas early on. I see less of that now. But, so we all use stainless steel blades. Stainless steel does not mean it's safe. Stainless steel just means it's less likely to scratch. But it'll generally almost always leave a really fine line. It can just be really hard to see. That is a light tint. We're doing 50. It's going to look even lighter with a white towel on the dash right now. Hiring a tinter in Cleveland. I had to drive out to Cleveland to get my Tesla. Two years ago. Do you install PPF on the headlights? No, I don't. I've done it. Should we trim this? We can trim this too. And we'll get that on the other side. So the thing about headlights is this. When it comes around here, that's easy. When it comes around here, that's not too bad. When you have a compound curve like this point, that's when stuff gets more difficult. I have to imagine those headlights really aren't that difficult, but if you look at like these taillights, you just got a lot of edges and curves and stuff. So then you have to like seam it. if you're like tinting them. It's not my skill set. I do window tint. I do window tint and technical stuff. My mental's all capped out. I don't want to learn a different service. All right, so now we need a heat gun, and we're gonna shrink this puppy. I'm getting my Stairmaster workout today, though. Watching the stream while tinting a 25 Escalade. Nice. What's the cost in total? $3.99. Ready, set, go. Or $2.99. I don't remember. It's $2.99 or $3.99. It'll look at my messages. Yeah, just for a minute. The heat gun sounds like it's on its last leg. It's on a circuit that has a shirt heat press on right now. We just shut it off. The circuit's on its way out. The circuit's like, It's got too much hooked up. Whoever wired this place up put a lot of stuff on a few different things. And for convenience, we use those. See, the heat gun's okay right now. I'm surprised you haven't switched to torch. I keep forgetting to pick up a different attachment that people have shown that's a lot more like a heat gun end. I have a more expensive heat gun. But that's the question I see. Is a high quality heat gun important when shrinking? No, it's not. These are still one of the best heat guns for shrinking. And they're one of the cheapest. On most heat guns that range from $30 to $150, most of them are going to be very similar in like temperature range. What they're going to have is added features, and we don't really need features. We don't need to put low airflow settings and fine tune our heat. We just want them to get as hot as they can and blow as much air as they will. So these Wagner, any of the Wagner ones are fine. Porter Cable, Craftsman, those are fine. And then up from there, go with like a Steinel or a Weldy or something like that. I haven't used Weldy yet, but been seeing them a little bit more, so they're probably good. What vehicle are you printing right now? We got a Silverado. No, not a Silverado, a Colorado. One of those Rados. Are there any more Rados? I just realized Silverado and Colorado go together, so it's my realization for today. Depends on how hot it gets. 8 years in tinting, Wagner is fine. Yep. They feel a bit like a toy if you use like a heavier duty heat gun and you go back to one of these. But these suckers get so hot. And what I like about them too is like it's, people ask me, hey, is there like an inexpensive film that's good for practicing? It's like I use all the tools and stuff that I like, and tint tools are really not very expensive to get a full set. So that's never been an issue. But heat guns and film, heat guns you can use pretty much whatever you want. You can still use baby shampoo. So I like to still have options. I'll try other stuff, but I still like to have options that anybody can get their hands on. What tool are you using to push the fingers out? This is a felt block. We actually get these made around here. There's a wool manufacturing processing company manufacturing. I think sheep manufacture the wool. But they get the wool and they make all types of felt and wool products. So like I talked to one of the guys that runs the back when I was picking up an order. And he'll talk about all like the little sound dampeners in door panels, all the little like fuzzy bits that you don't think of, like the little fuzzy bit on the back of your seatbelt, like that. They're like, yeah, we probably make that. I was like, whoa, that's cool. I actually never thought about somebody having to make a little felt pad. So we get them made locally by that company. I literally knew to look for the felt pad on the seatbelt because he told me that they're there. Like, I knew they were there, kind of, not really thinking about it, but he's like, yeah, we probably made those. Like, oh. Somebody's got to do it. Smart. Yep, that's one of those businesses that you wouldn't think about. They just moved into a bigger building, too. I put my logo on it? Yeah, they did. They put my logo on it. It was funny. I was looking around for a manufacturer somewhere in the U.S. for them because I was looking to get good quality version. Came across their website. They had made them for like Avery Dennison and a handful of other companies. Got in touch with them. Asked how much shipping was, and they're like, well, actually, since you're close, don't you want to come pick them up? I was like, wait, what? Where are you? Oh, they're like 15 minutes from me. I had no idea. Are you putting a lot of pressure on the blade? No, I want to cut through the tint, but I'm not trying to slice through the tape. So you have to put like a little more pressure than what you usually do for just cutting on the glass. But it prevents the blade from going all the way through and chopping the crap out of his windshield, because that would get expensive. Whatever the cost of this job is, plus some. So that's why I don't like cutting on that stuff anymore. What kind of tape? It is Glassade. My microphone! There we go. How long does it take you to do that truck alone? Too long. Too long by myself. It's already been an hour and a half. We should be done with everything. Are you just learning? Every day, we're learning a little bit more. Like Colorado and Silverado. Do all the excess pieces get thrown away? Yeah. They just take up space otherwise. You could. It's like unfortunate ways. In a perfect world, you'd keep those scraps. You'd know exactly the size that they are. You can roll them up. You can write little names on them. And I swear, that piece is not going to fit any window you go to put it on until you throw it away, and then you'll have the perfect window for it. So annoying how that works. These trucks are getting smaller. Yeah, it's a Colorado. It's not meant to be big. How long should it take to do a full car windshield? Usually have it done inside of an hour. Windshields are a little different than like back windows. Back windows you should be like half hour. Doors you can be about an hour. Back window half an hour. Windshield up to an hour. Windshields are just going to be a little bit more work, even though it's the same type of thing. Should a tint shop fix a bad tint job, or should I just ask for a refund? No, they should definitely fix it. I think the unfortunate bit is when a shop turns out a really bad tint job, you kind of lose all confidence in them for fixing it. And so you just want to get your money back. But usually you're not just going to have a shop just give you your money back like that. They're either going to offer to fix it or they're just going to give you a runaround. It just depends on the place. There's a lot of bad places. That's just how it is. Contractor stuff. It's a fight, though. It's a fight between clients and shops, because clients are always beating shops up about price. And then they have competition that'll do it for cheaper, and then people want to wonder why it's, oh, that sounds expensive. And it's like, yeah, well, everything's expensive, so we don't just charge a lot of money because we want to, even though we want to. There's a market for it. How much does it cost for a truck like this? The front doors and the full windshield start at $299, $399 for ceramic, $499 for Apex. What's the best place to tint if you don't have a garage? Okay, what do we need to do? Oh yeah, one more thing I was gonna grab. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Let's get this. I have a Jeep Renegade. It came with amazing tint, but I would like a header for it. What's a header? Like a windshield strip? Why does the windshield look so dirty? Because there's dryer sheet on the outside? But yeah, where do you tint if you don't have a garage? Find a garage. Unfortunately, like, otherwise you're just fighting against a bunch of stuff, and there's no easy way to handle it. Just one of those services. Like, if I wanted to paint cars, but I didn't have a space to paint, would I do it outside? Window tint, you can kind of get away with doing it outside, but look at it kind of that way. There's so many things that are fighting against you that it doesn't really make it worthwhile. Or you just have to figure out ways of solving them. Is it possible to tint my shower door? I don't want my auntie looking at me anymore. Yes, you can frost your shower doors. That's exactly what we did with the glass doors right there. Those are frosted. through those hanging ones. Great job. Videos are great. Just paid $150 to tint the front to the rear. Yeah, that's what we charge too. That's normal. I hope they turned out nice. Pricing's always a tough thing to discuss here, though. It's like, how much should it cost to get my transmission replaced? I don't know. It depends on what shop you go to, what they charge you in labor. Well, that's no good. Why'd you do that? That's less helpful. What heater? Do we still have internet? Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, at least I can... Yay! Wait, what heater did you move?
The t-shirt press, I moved to a different. Yeah, because can you switch those cords back? It was working while you were tripping, anyway.
That's funny. It was probably to one with the lights on it. I'm surprised though. Everything's still up. We're gonna have to have like an actual electrician come in here and charge me a lot of money to rewire this whole place. Just so we can have our t-shirt press and a heat gun going at the same time. Yeah, tint slip. Link in bio. Does business ever slow down? I'm an electrician. Well, come on down. Do you take TikTok gifts as payment? We'll just hang this here. Yes. Hell yeah. I can guarantee you'll at least get like 5 roses. I run a full detail shop and do tinting as well. Nice. I bet the electrical in it is pretty good. Do you think tinting windows helps hold together? Yes, it does hold glass together. That can be good or can be bad. Glass, one reason it's tempered is it's made to shatter. It's not hard to bust through it though, because the tint will rip really easily, but it definitely does like hold it together. We also have like laminated glass on doors, so I guess it doesn't matter, because if they do that on front doors, then whether or not it's tinted wouldn't matter. All right, so let's peel this. We tried the scroll method on front windshields. That's interesting timing for a question. I don't know about the scroll method. We're all about the reverse roll method, which is probably the same. We're doing that right now. Would you accept 2 dozen eggs as payment? In this market, maybe. They're at an all-time high. How long have you been in the business? 16 years? Eggs are cheap. $5 for 12. That's expensive now, isn't it? Ours are like 8 something here. I don't know. I saw a TikTok thing about it. They were like 2 something and now they're like 8 something. All right, so when you get towards the end, let the roll drop away. Then you can do that, and you don't have that liner bunching up against the pillar. You can kind of roll this tint in. Position. What squeegee do we use, guys? I'm confused. Do we use a pink clean? Do we use a tint brush? Do we use an orange crush with a really wide squeegee blade? Brush. Pink clean. Oh, God. Why not take out the pillars so you get it tucked behind? Because it's a Chevy. It's already tucked. Look at this gap. You see that gap? That doesn't... Take out the pillars. Orange... Okay, well, we got all 3 now. So I don't know which one to start with. We'll start with Mr. Tint Brush here. Look at that flawless tint brushing. Neat. So that side squeegeed out. Pink clean. Well, it's not squeegeed out. So what does it do? That's a good question. That's what I was kind of waiting for. If you use a light, very flexible squeegee, this is going to be less important for people that have been tinting for a few years or a year or whatever, or can do windshields just fine. But what it does is it kind of spreads out your film over the glass, but it still keeps moisture in there. It just helps fan everything out is all it does. So you still have to go back over, take a harder squeegee, and then squeegee out the extra water that's left in between. But when you have a really contoured door window or windshield or back window, if you take like a medium pressure squeegee or a harder squeegee and you push too hard on the film and there's too much like slip, your pattern will kind of just like shift around a lot. So it's just a way of literally spreading out and getting rid of some of those bubbles. So for new people, it's especially helpful because I can't tell you how many times like you'll have those really big air pockets that'll just kind of like do this on the windshield. And if you just squeegee straight over, you can have those air pockets still pop back up, but all the fluid underneath the film has been removed. So when you squeegee that spot again, you're going to drag air through those spots and it's going to look bad. That's the idea there. You can still do everything with one squeegee, nothing changed. You don't have to use a tint brush. It's just the brush was the most controversial thing to pop up lately. We're so crazy. We're used to torches and baby powder and other stuff. But my God, a tint brush, we're not ready for that. Brushes are for the floor, not for tint. We're weird. We don't have anything else to do. What temperature do you use your tint brush at? No, what temp do you use your heat gun at? I just put the heat guns on as hot as they'll go. How long have you been tinting for? About 16 years now. Good tip. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Hope you pop off. You'll probably fall off something. Have you tinted a Cybertruck? No, I'm so left out. I'll get one after they've been out for a year or two. It just is what it is. I don't know. C8 Corvettes came out. I didn't get one until a year. Anything that's cool that gets social media attention, I'll see it after a year or so, after all the hype's died down and there's literally zero interest in it. I heard the windshield's flat, but you still have to shrink it. Yes, absolutely have to shrink it. You have to shrink any windshield, even a Wrangler. That's the wrong one. We don't want to use that one. That's a sprayway. Oh, there's my sprayway. You know, I thought these caps were going to be it. These caps suck. They keep, like, that's locked, that's unlocked. And there's so many times I go to pick this up, and it's not letting me press the button. And it just sits here. I have Lumar, and I don't know if I'm paying for the name or better film. Largely the name. You are getting good film. But if you're not doing anything with that name, then you're largely just paying for the upcharge of that name, because they definitely have a premium on their film. D's Nuts gifted 1 membership. Wow, thank you. I didn't even know you could gift memberships on YouTube. That's like a Twitch thing. That could have happened a bunch of times and I had no idea. Good job, software. Why am I watching this? Because you have nothing else to do. I'm sorry. Can you toss me one of the purple towels? Can you toss me one of the purple towels? Yeah. Yay. Thank you. Do you guys fix windshields? No. No, we tint them. We make them less visible. I'm afraid when switching to GeoShield, the clarity won't be the same. I might be wrong. You're definitely wrong. I mean, it might be better. Pick up a roll. Try it out. I wouldn't be using it if it wasn't clear. I do not like hazy window films at all. Wow, that was nice. Are you allowed to list off the brand names of films that are actually the really high quality names? Companies really like Global. Global's like Global makes good film. They make it for a lot of people, including some of like 2 lines from Geo. But I wouldn't have expected you to call that one out of all the other ones. Yeah, I can talk about any film company I want. It doesn't matter. GeoShield is a top-tier window film company. Their films will go toe-to-toe with any other film brand. A lot of what you're paying for is customer support, a territory, and a brand. And that stuff is not to be just like shrugged off. It matters. When you talk about general consumers looking for window tint, if you are an XPEL dealer and you have a customer that's shopping around, I would say if the pricing is similar enough, they're more likely to go to the XPEL dealer than a GeoShield dealer. It's just how it is. They have better marketing. Okay. Do you want to go with Mama? So how do you feel about older model CRVs? Oh, I don't like them. Is the warranty on Geo easy to deal with? Yeah, of course. And we have like one of the largest Facebook groups, so if they give you shit, make a Facebook post and light them on fire. Because I guarantee you, they would take care of it then. All right, let's tape this up. Oh, that's just a scratch line. There's my tape. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Does anybody make a roll big enough for a Cybertruck windshield? Yeah. Every company has a roll that's big enough for a Cybertruck. Cybertrucks are 60 or 72.
Do you have a key?
Yeah, right there. Still using the same setup or new meta glasses? Same setup, phone. Meta glasses don't stream. Starting watching you 6 years ago, you're the reason I know how to tint. Thank you. That's super cool. I never had somebody question what film I use, so that's why I'm considering changing. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good reason too. You can definitely save on film costs. If those brands are working for you, by all means, they're worth paying for. But if they're not doing anything for you, then you're just paying a premium on something that you're not using. It doesn't make sense. Try and look into like where different film companies get their films made. Lumar, Suntech, they're owned by Eastman Chemical Company. So they like do all their window film dyeing and stuff here. There's actually like very few companies that manufacture their own film. But if they do their own film, they also do other people's films too. Because manufacturers make money by manufacturing, not just owning a brand. How much for taillight tint? I don't know. We don't do it. I'm sorry. Taillight tint, it seems like a tinting skill. It's a vinyl wrapping skill. I've done it like a few times. Not for customers, just like to screw around with. It takes me too long. I just like not gonna go down that road. I got some other stuff I gotta spend time on. It's not good to tint plastics. Yeah, you're not gonna put the same type of film. You're gonna do a translucent wrap. With some of the things that you did, just good customer service, getting back to people. Doing a good job. Generally, if you've stuck to just doing a good job, they have no reason to go anywhere else because they didn't have anywhere else to go in the first place. But I'll tell you, as far as like traditional retail goes, I'm behind. I just am. We're now running paid Google ads. That's helped with a lot of leads. But in general, I never had the focus on it. So we have like a online store. I'm more focused on like tint videos and organic stuff. So as far as like traditional service businesses go, I'm definitely not the utmost expert on that. So the stuff that I've done up till now, like it helps, but it's definitely not like there's more stuff that we should have already been doing that we weren't. Look at that. Do you do a lot of flat glass? No. No, we do not. We were doing flat glass for a little bit, but it's just too hard to get around to. We have people calling about it, though. That's what I mean. Like, there's just too much that I get sidetracked with. So if you want to ask me about, like, AI booking software, I'm all about that. But alrighty, guys. Have you ever heard of pocket shrinking or heard it's an easier way to get a shrink? No. Yes and no. Yeah, I've heard of it, but it's worth looking into. All right, I got to take off. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you guys later. Bye.